704 days since my first video. 405 days since the SMP that changed my life started. 365 days since the beginning of Fractured. Today's video is going to be a little different because today we are going over Fractured because it is the 1 year anniversary today. Kind of to celebrate that, I kind of want to go over kind of my first experiences on Fractured, how I felt, and kind of just how the SMP has changed me as a whole. I guess we could start off with how I felt when I very first joined Fractured, because that's not a side you see often, and talking about fear is not something you see commonly between content creators. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of history, and that is that Fractured, the SMP, was originally started because of Fever Dream. Fever Dream was basically a huge hodgepodge of a bunch of mods and a bunch of people from all over the place, all put into one. And when I very first did Fever Dream, I was terrified, mainly because I have never really interacted with people outside of my friend group IRL. So it was a whole new experience to me, and when I initially was going to do it, I wasn't going to do it. Like, I just said, no, this is not for me. I decided one day that I was just looking at the applications, and I'm like, you know what? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something like this. So, I did. And I'll be honest, looking back, I am really glad that I did that, because the people I met, I would have never have known if it wasn't for the fact of me just saying, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And during Fractured, the Fractured Rainbow was formed, and when it was initially formed, I wasn't gonna stick around because I wouldn't necessarily say I felt uncomfortable, but I didn't like being around people I didn't know. And that was kind of hard because there was only 2 people I actually knew on the server, and both of them had already kind of gone in their own little directions. So I decided to stick around, and I'm glad I did, because if it wasn't for Fractured Rainbow, I would have never have met Dawn, RGB, Ghost, Irio, and a whole bunch of others that I love hanging around with. When Fever Dream ended, we all decided to come together because we had created like such a great bond, because all of us had just kind of ran with a story. We just like really clicked really together. And so Fractured was formed, and on February 10th of last year, we came together and we made Fractured SMP. When I very first joined Fractured SMP, I was excited because I was going to spend more time with these people that I had just met and get to know them and just learn more. But I was also terrified because I had never done anything like this. I had done an SMP before, but it wasn't to the extent of what Fractured was being hyped up to be. And when I was like talking with them and doing everything, a lot of things that went through my mind was, I shouldn't be here. This is going to take too much work. I should not be like focusing on just an SMP. And I'll be honest, I still kind of have a little bit of those thoughts, but I am so glad that I decided to stick through and go with. This way I have been able to make a great bond with people. I have been able to learn about the game so much more. I have done things that I never thought I would do. And just, I got to learn more about myself. I think this is something that if you go and watch older videos, is that I don't like talking to the camera. Initially, why I joined the SMP and like kind of stayed with it was because I relied on people to do the talking for me. Doing Fractured, I was able to kind of get out of that and actually start doing my own episodes and talking more, and I feel a lot more confident talking to the mic, and I feel a lot more confident overall just doing this. Like, it's a lot more comfortable for me to do. And I owe that a lot to Fractured, because if it wasn't for Fractured, I wouldn't push myself out of my boundaries. There have been so many things we've done on Fractured, specifically like the end run from the very first day, the crafting table war that is not a war, that is still going on, but it's not really, but you know, we don't talk about that. To even wrangling the Ravagers that I have. I would have never have done anything like that if it wasn't for the fact of just being around these people, having fun with it and wanting to do more and just having fun. I think that's super important when it comes down to an SMP. It's just so much fun, and I have so much fun doing this and making content on the server, pushing myself, even though my building specifically, I haven't really pushed myself out, but I have done so much more than what I usually do for building. And it's just amazing to see, be able to be there and experience it. And I feel like I've grown so much as a person just because of Fractured. I feel a lot more confident talking to people, and like I said, talking to the mic, and just overall my handle on content creation. Like, I feel much more confident editing, I feel much more confident just recording in general, having fun and letting loose. It's okay to like tone back, it's okay to get excited, and if it wasn't for Fractured, I probably wouldn't have learned a lot of this, and I wouldn't have pushed myself outside of my boundaries. And I'm really glad for the people that I do videos with, because these are some amazing creators. Like, they come from all sorts of backgrounds, and they all bring their own things to the table, and they all are just amazing. And if you haven't checked any of them out, seriously, go and check them out. They are amazing. These people are amazing to talk with and are amazing to play with, and I'm just glad that I had this opportunity to be a part of a community, because this is not something I do. I'm just glad that I've had that time to grow as a person and to really just have fun on the server while doing something that I love to do. I owe a lot of thanks to you guys as the viewers, people who are watching, even if you watch for like few seconds, or if you watch all the videos or everything. You don't realize how much inspiration you give me. Just seeing the fact that people watch the videos, and that sometimes people comment, and also subscribers, like, you know, the cliche thing, but just seeing the numbers grow. And even just seeing like the way that sometimes we talk about editing styles and everything, like just to see growth is amazing to me, and I really owe that to you guys as the viewers. Because if it wasn't for you, I probably would not be doing this still, and seriously, like, thank you all for watching. I'm glad I've had this opportunity to be on this server with such an amazing people, and like I said, to learn and to grow and just have fun with these people, and I'm glad that you guys watch it. I hope that you guys have fun with it too. When it comes down to Fractured, a lot of it is just us having fun. Like, we just all enjoy each other's company, and I think that's what's good about this SMP specifically, is the fact of we're all pretty good with each other. We just all like just to have fun, and it's great, and be a part of such a very welcoming and very nice community, I guess I could say. It's amazing to see progress, and I hope to continue even more. We have some big plans coming up on Fractured, and I'm just glad to have this experience and to have this opportunity. All I will say is thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and just being there, and seriously, and thank you to all of my, I guess you could say, Fractured colleagues, and all of the people who play with me. Like, seriously, you guys don't realize the impact that you've had on me, and just how great of an experience this all has been. So thank you. And with that, I don't think there's really much else to say other than happy birthday, Fractured! Alright, well, I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.